Marvelous hello, friends and loved ones! How are you today? You've actually caught me in the middle of packing. See, after a year of living in China, I am finally gonna be heading back to America. In fact, by the time you're watching this, I should already be back, so how about we just cut to that part? That's better. And it feels pretty great to be back in my own American Wasteland. I waited an entire year to make that joke. Totally worth it. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland came out in late 2005, shortly after the success of the Underground games, which I also loved. I actually remember buying this game right after I arrived in Japan when I lived there, so it's kind of funny to me that I'm playing it for the channel around the time I'm coming back from China. The game marketed itself on the idea of a giant open-world skating game with no loading, a fact they were so proud of they put it on both the front and back of the box. No loading. No loading! Did you know this game has no loading in it? So we boot the game up and... You lied to me. The story of American Wasteland is a charming but simple one. We start out by choosing our character from this group of...
You're all losers.
And quickly learn that our protagonist has had a horrible life, with a cheating girlfriend, an overbearing father, and the natural enemy of the skateboarder, cops that are just doing their jobs. So we're leaving all of that behind to start a new life out in Los Angeles, with a dream in our hearts and a duffel bag full of... With a dream in our hearts and nothing else, we quickly meet a hot punk artist named Mindy, voiced by the always talented Cree Summer. And if you don't know who that is, I'm going to assume you've never watched a cartoon in your life.
I don't give a crap. I like it.
After learning a few basic tricks and engaging in some weirdly gratuitous Ben Affleck bashing, you're able to get your stuff back with the power of rad skateboarding. And also using your board to smash the guy's face in like a melon, but it's mostly our awesome lip trick skills. Mindy invites you to come hang out back at her place, but to get there, we've got to get past this group of protesters, which is naturally accomplished by knocking down a giant T-Rex head. They're probably dead. So, just beyond Beverly Hills is the ranch, where Mindy lives with a group of other skateboarding misfits. There's Murphy, the guy who always knows a guy, Boone, who, like Icarus, flies a bit too close to the sun and ends up eating asphalt, and Useless Dave, who has the power to break the fourth wall.
Thug 1 had wall plants, but Thug 2 had the sticker slap.
The ranch is run by a man named Iggy Van Zandt, who quit the world of professional skateboarding because he hated the fame and glory. So after helping him build a ramp and learning a new trick, the player, who I've decided I'm just gonna call Skater Boy for this video, then competes in the Tony Hawk Am Jam. And even though he was explicitly told Iggy likes to stay off the radar, he proceeds to tell the whole world about him because... I don't know, he's a massive tool. Iggy ends up getting thrown in jail because he had a rap sheet he's been hiding from, and while attempting to help him get out, Skater Boy discovers that the ranch is actually a historic skate park known as Green Pipes Point. The gang decides to surprise Iggy by hiring a crane to dig up the old snake run that got filled in years ago, but because Skater Boy just can't keep his mouth shut, word gets out, and we discover that Iggy never actually bought the land, and now that it's all anyone is talking about, the owner wants to sell it off to the highest bidder. The plot of American Wasteland really isn't anything special, but it definitely isn't without its charms. With its ragtag group of misfits, the entire story basically feels like one of those 90s era Save the Rec Center type stories, which, while cheesy, can definitely be a relaxing feel-good adventure. So then, why do I remember American Wasteland so fondly? Well, if I'm being honest, it all goes back to that dinosaur head we knocked down near the start of the game. You have to head back there and pay a construction worker to take it back to the ranch. And this is the most memorable part of the game for me. Each major area has a series of quests you can do to earn new skate pieces for Iggy's ranch. I've always really loved games that have these types of city building mechanics. I think it's also why I loved recruiting Digimon to join my town in Digimon World. In American Wasteland, basically someone finds something they think would be fun to skate on, coerce you into committing some minor property damage, and then are nice enough to bring it back to the ranch. It creates a really nice sense of progression, and made me want to clear all the quests in each area before moving on. And it's really cool that anytime you go back to the ranch, you see the stuff you found set up and ready to be skated on. There are over 40 pieces that can be collected throughout LA, ranging from building parts that can be used as ramps, to a naked lady statue,
Naked ladies are nice.
to industrial oil rig parts, to a couch. Okay, so they aren't all exciting, but it's still a blast trying to collect them all, and it feels good to deck out the skate ranch over the course of the game. I was able to knock down a freeway sign for the ranch, and it caused such a massive car crash that even my PS2 got in on the action. Because it crashed. I also love how over the top the story is in some places, and it's done in a way that I can only describe as cartoonish. Need to get past some construction workers? Well, how about helping this creepy guy get back his
Bag of tricks.
so he can shoot a rocket launcher at them? Need to distract a carny? Dress up like an alien and scare the crap out of him. Though I'm disappointed that you only get to be the alien for a short period of time, and even when you are, your options are limited. You can't even go into shops.
It's because I'm green, isn't it?
You have to learn the ancient secrets of skateboarding from an over-the-top Chinese stereotype that makes Punch-Out look subtle. And I've gotta say, it feels extra weird seeing this after spending a year in Beijing.
You have come to me seeking wisdom. That I can grant you. But first, you must reveal to me what you now know.
You also join a gang for what essentially boils down to helping Boone get his pants back. The entire world of American Wasteland is goofy, outrageous, and so over the top that it's where the series literally jumps the shark. The only place where I think the game loses momentum is towards the end. After getting Iggy kicked out of the ranch and trying to blame everything on Mindy because, again, Skater Boy is kind of a massive tool, the guys come up with their own idea to save the ranch. They'll produce their own skateboarding video filled with all the pros, and as luck would have it, Tony Hawk is out shopping nearby. So naturally, the best way to get him to appear in our video is to neg Tony Hawk.
Check out Tony Hawk shopping on Rodeo Drive. You here for a $5,000 haircut or just picking up some diamond spinner rims for your board?
But somehow that works. So I even tried reaching out to the Birdman himself to see if he'd appear in my video. I guess he's busy. While most of the game up until now had you doing crazy outrageous tasks for crazy outrageous NPCs, now you're mostly doing normal tasks for regular pro skaters. You've got Rodney Mullen, Bam Margera, a bunch of other people you've probably never heard of. You even recruit Matt Hoffman by proving that you can ride a bike, and it's awful. It's horrible. It's so bad. The bike sucks. For the finale of their video, the gang decides to destroy an abandoned casino, and also take a few moments to shoot old ladies with water balloons.
You know, the good thing about old ladies is that they
are like a fine wine that ripens with age.
Iggy knows what's up. But when the cops come to break up the party, it's up to Skater Boy to get the footage from the casino all the way back to the ranch without being captured by the cops. It's a pretty cool final mission that basically requires you to find a safe path throughout the entire map, and I really liked it. So, here I am, doing everything I can, holding on to what I am, pretending I'm a Superman. Also, I did it. Yay. The ranch is saved, there's a big awesome skate party with all the pros, Skater Boy makes out with Mindy, because of course he does, and then the credits roll. We also do get to see the video the guys put together, and I'll admit, it's pretty darn cool to watch. Like I said before, the story of this game is nuts, but the good kind of nuts. We've got a group of flawed people who fight to save something that they love, and if a few hotels get blown up or historic landmarks get desecrated, that's a small price to pay for us to save our park. I think my only major complaint is with Skater Boy himself. Maybe this is just a sign that I'm an old man now and not the angst-riddled teenager I was when this game came out, but he's just such a massive tool. Most of the problems that happen in the story are caused by him in the first place. He's cocky, arrogant, short-tempered, and his only redeeming quality seems to be he's good at skating. But that aside, I do still think the story mode is fun, and while I don't think I liked it quite as much as Underground, it's a fun journey through LA. Speaking of, I never really talked about that big open world, no loading thing, did I? It is true that once you're in the game, you basically have a large area with no loading screens, but it's also not quite true. See, between each area you have these long connecting hallways that are mostly empty, and the next area loads while you're going through these. Some people were bothered by this, but I never had too much of an issue with it, because most of them have stuff for you to do tricks on, and it definitely feels better than a normal loading screen. No matter how many times I had to go through this Beverly Hills Mall, I was having a good time. However, what the game lacks in load time, it makes up for in save time. I don't know if it's because I was playing the PS2 version or what, but this game takes forever to save. See for yourself. Get it? The joke is that this game takes a really long time to save. I'd also like to take a moment to talk about the game's soundtrack. I think we can all agree that the Tony Hawk games have had some amazing music in the past, and if you're not already humming a personal favorite to yourself right now, then I don't think you've ever played one of these games. The soundtrack to American Wasteland is pretty good. It has a nice mix of rock, punk, and hip-hop. And while it's got a few big songs from bands like Green Day and Fall Out Boy, there were only a few songs that I found really stuck with me. One of which was about this guy that just really likes dirt. I like dirt! I like dirt! Aside from the story mode, American Wasteland also features classic mode, with its own unique levels and all the goals that Tony Hawk's fans know and love, like collecting skate and finding those secret tapes. This and free skate mode are where you can use extra characters. There's actually a panda suit that you can buy in the story mode, but sadly can't use in the story mode. Which is a shame, because I think we can all agree the story mode would have been way better if Skater Boy could have been a punk rock panda. I'll confess, I didn't spend too much time on these modes for the video, but they are totally fleshed out and well worth your time if you like that original arcade feel. Honestly, the classic mode in this game, as far as I'm concerned, makes this game the true Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. So, we can all pretend that other one just doesn't exist. So, is Tony Hawk's American Wasteland still worth playing even after all these years? I'm gonna say yes. There's a fun story mode, plenty of extra content, good music, and overall it just plays great. I know there's always been a love for the first 4 Pro Skaters and the Underground games, but I think this game definitely deserves to be pulled from the wasteland and put onto your shelf. And I don't really know how to end this video, so Skater Boy? I'll say see you later, boy. That was terrible.